Dear Aries, have you ever felt like your body was trying to tell you something? A strange pain, an unnamed intuition, a recurring sensation that appears exactly when you're about to give up. You think it's just exhaustion. No, it's a whisper from heaven, and maybe no one else but you, dear Aries, can recognize it. I am an astrologer, a mystic, and a writer, with over 50 years of experience studying pioneer souls like you. And in this video, I will reveal the very first sacred signal that God is sending through your body, why this only happens to Aries, and how not to miss the gate of destiny that is opening right in front of you. Right below this video, I am ready to face the sacred truth about my body, because commenting is not just a declaration, it is a signal to the divine energies that are guiding you. If you feel this message means something to you, please like and share this video so this light can reach other Aries souls who are still waiting to be awakened. And now, let us step into the very first part, where the body of an Aries is not just flesh and blood, but a sacred map of a mission written by heaven. Are you ready? I remember it clearly. The woman stepped into my room, her eyes holding a tiredness she could no longer hide. She was an Aries, 43 years old, a former athletic coach once filled with energy and fire. But for over 3 months, she said, she could no longer control her body. Persistent headaches each morning, sudden spikes in heart rate in the middle of the night, and a feeling as if she no longer belonged in her own skin. I didn't need to ask many questions because I had seen this again and again with Aries souls standing at the threshold of a new spiritual mission. They thought they were losing control, but in truth, they were being activated. And if you and Aries are hearing this, very likely your body is also becoming a living map, leading you toward the sacred path meant only for you. In astrology, Aries is the very first sign, carrying the energy of Mars, the planet of blood, movement, and primal life force. Aries was not born to remain still. You are the pioneer, the one willing to take the first step into the dark when no one else dares to. But because you lead, you are also the first to feel the impact of the universe. And the universe never knocks using words. It knocks through your body. I have spent hours with Aries clients who told me stories of recurring headaches with no explanation, waking up at 2-4 a.m., especially under a new or full moon, a racing heartbeat while sitting perfectly still. They went to doctors who found nothing. They came to astrology, and I knew they were being chosen, because when Mars goes retrograde, or when Pluto, Chiron, or Neptune begin to strongly aspect the first house, the ascendant, no part of the body can remain silent. You will feel as though you are living inside a body that no longer belongs to you, not because you are broken, but because your soul has outgrown the old form and is trying to find a way out. When your body no longer listens to logic, it's because God wants you to listen with your soul. We are raised to endure, to ignore, to push through. But in sacred medicine, every pain is a symbol, a headache. You are thinking in opposition to your soul. Insomnia, something inside you is being suppressed, demanding to speak. A racing heart, you're living out of tune with your destined energy. You are not malfunctioning. You are not flawed. You are being called to live truthfully. What's unique about Aries is that every signal from the universe passes through the body before it ever reaches the mind. Because you are not just a pioneer, you are a bearer, a carrier of divine momentum. Your body is the very first tent that God built for a soul destined to lead. If your body is reacting intensely, it's because it is preparing you for an exodus, and that is when you can no longer afford to ignore the signs. Are you going through unexplained pain? Write it down, because maybe your soul is touching a turning point. One of the clearest signs that Aries is being called is this. You feel pushed out of old environments. You no longer feel safe in familiar relationships. You feel a deep urge to disappear and start again. This is not a breakdown. This is a beginning. Don't ask why you're losing energy. Ask instead, what is heaven asking me to release? Sometimes exhaustion doesn't mean you're doing too much. It means you've stayed too long, in a place you were never meant to remain. Why you? Why Aries? The answer doesn't lie in the clinic. It doesn't lie in a blood pressure reading. It lies in your birth chart, where Mars is calling you back to the sacred path written for you since the very beginning. And in the next section, I will show you why God chose Aries to receive this revelation and not anyone else. When a warrior is called, they are not chosen because they are strong, but because they will become strong on the path they dare to walk. Have you ever felt your body warning you about something no one else believed? Write it down, because maybe that was the moment the universe marked you. If these words resonate with you, please share this video with other Aries souls around you. They might be waiting for this very awakening. Did you know that in the Bible, the first to be called to walk forward was always the one who carried the fire of obedience? Not because they were better, not because they were stronger, but because they were willing to stand up first before anyone else understood what was happening. And in the divine astrological map of the heavens, Aries is that soul. I've been asked, why do Aries go through such deep awakenings? Why do they often feel like their body isn't normal? And why do they often become the source of inspiration for their family, their community, even a whole generation? I've thought about it for years, but after more than 50 years of watching the stars move, the answer turned out to be so simple, because Aries was the first to be called. And with the first calling comes the first loneliness, the first challenge, and yes, the first gift. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac wheel, the very beginning of the 12. You are not a repetition. You are the origin. Your ruling planet is Mars, the symbol of fire, of the warrior, of life itself. Wherever you go, energy stirs. Wherever you fall silent, energy gets stuck. And when powerful planets like Pluto, death and rebirth, Chiron, sacred wounds and healing, Mars, the will to act, pass through the first house, the house of identity, of the body, of physical emergence, your body begins to speak the language of the universe. That's when strange pain appears. Emotions surge for no clear reason. Dreams come with strange symbols, or you simply feel like you are no longer the same person you were yesterday. I once witnessed a 12-year-old Aries girl who refused to sleep for 3 months, not because she was afraid, but because she said, "I'm scared that if I close my eyes, I'll forget the voice of God I keep hearing in my dreams." Sometimes, the first calling comes earlier than we expect, and maybe you're experiencing things others label as too sensitive, anxious, or strange. But take a breath, slow down, look at the cycles of the stars. Notice how your body responds during the full moon, when the sun passes through Aries, or when Chiron returns to a place it last touched 25 years ago. Nothing inside you is random. You are not too sensitive. You are simply opening. Have you ever felt your body knew something before your mind could explain it? Write it down, because someone else out there may be living that very same moment right now. Aries is not born to live a repeating life. You are a pioneer, a soul carrying the energy of revelation, the one who steps into darkness before the dawn even hints at itself. And that is not easy. You may feel that old work no longer connects. Familiar conversations feel hollow. You can no longer pretend to be okay. When a storm is raging inside you, don't think of yourself as strange. Don't rush to extinguish that light, because that light is your personal divine summons. You are not weakening. You are being refined to carry a greater mission. Sometimes fragmentation is a prayer already heard. In the Christian tradition, those first called to walk always journey through a desert before reaching the promised land. They don't go with maps. They go in blind obedience to the call they hear within. Aries is such a soul. You are Moses in ordinary life, David before the sword, the one who sounded the trumpet, even though no army stood behind. And so, your signal comes first. Your awakening arrives early. Your body warns long before others suspect. Aries need no reassurance that all will be well. They only need reminding. They are not lost, they are ahead of the path. Now you know what's unfolding. You no longer ask, "Why am I like this?" Instead, you ask, "What must I prepare for to step into what is coming?" And that is the moment of true transformation. Once you know you have been chosen, you no longer resist the signs, you learn to listen. If something within you is waking, and you don't yet know its name, share it. Perhaps the universe is reminding you. When you understand why you were chosen, you no longer fear your body. What you must do next is learn to listen, decode, and heal. In the next part, I will take you into that phase, when your body is no longer a question, but a message from heaven. A soul map unfolding through every ache, every heartbeat, every restless night. If this feels true to your soul, drop a fire emoji in the comments. It's not just confirmation, it's a pledge to the one who called you. And if you know another Aries who is going through the same journey, please share this video with them, because light is never given to be held alone. Are you ready to continue? In the next section, I will reveal what is really happening inside your body and how you can transform each symptom into a sacred message of healing. Sometimes, a nameless pain, a strange sensation in the chest, an unexpected fall on an ordinary day, is the first sacred sign you missed. God doesn't always speak with words. The universe doesn't always awaken you with a dream. Sometimes, he touches you with your own body. I remember a man in Aries came to me nearly in despair. He was a former soldier, logical, disciplined, never believing in mysticism. But he said, I had persistent shoulder pain for over 7 months. No fractures, no injury, nothing at all. I saw doctor after doctor, no cause. But I felt something heavy pressing on my shoulder, something I could not name. I asked him just one question. Have you felt recently that you were forced to stop when you didn't want to stop? He nodded, eyes misting, because he knew that pain was no coincidence. In astrology, every part of the body connects to a zodiac sign. Aries rules the head, the face, and the primal motor nerve system. And Aries is linked with the first house, the house of beginnings, of identity, of physical presence, and original essence. When the first house is activated, you can no longer scroll past the sensations your body offers. It becomes the first receiver of celestial communication, and if you resist, you feel imprisoned in your own flesh. When you are trapped in your body, it is because your soul is trying to break free. You are not wrong, you are preparing to burst out of the final shell. In Christian belief, the human body is called the temple of God. Miracles, from healing to resurrection, always begin with a touch on the body when a soul is prepped. For a great mission, its sanctuary must undergo its first divine shock. For Aries, being the sign of action, awakening never arrives in stillness. It comes with a sudden halt. Through the body, you may experience a mysterious illness no one understands, a minor accident that forces you to rest, a body full of energy but unable to release it. This is not punishment, it is the initiation rite. Sometimes what you call illness is really the call to leave what no longer fits your soul. Imagine your birth chart as a gateway. The first house, the ascendant, is where your soul first stepped into the physical world. It's not just how others see you, it's the only passage through which your soul expresses itself outwardly. When powerful planetary energies like Pluto, irreversible transformation, Mars, action, Chiron, wounds and healing, touch your first house, you begin to feel you can no longer tolerate the old ways of living. You want to change your work, your environment, your relationships. You feel like your body is calling you to do something, but you can't quite explain it. You are not lost, you are being redirected. What have you been feeling in your body lately? A shift, a fear, a lingering pain? Write it down, because it may not be a pain, but a calling. Sleeplessness without a reason, especially between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. The hours when the soul is said to commune with the divine. Pressure in the head, forehead, crown. Aries governs the head. This is where new energy is downloading. Fatigue even when you've done nothing strenuous, because you're spending energy resisting change. You don't need to be afraid. You only need to pause and listen. Your body is not the enemy, it is the messenger. Perhaps you've been pushing too hard, trying to return to your old rhythm. But maybe you weren't meant to continue. Maybe you were meant to begin again from a deeper place, a higher place, a truer place. Your body does not need fixing. It needs to be honored as a temple where the sacred layers of your soul are being sanctified. I used to think illness was something to eliminate, but the deeper I went into astrology, the more I realized some pain only arises when we are standing at the final doorway of destiny. And when you are there, you must fall into silence to hear the knock. Now you begin to see more clearly. The pain is a symbol, the body is a language, and Aries, you are the first soul to receive the call. But if all you do is recognize, you have not yet crossed over. So how do you translate those signs into a path of healing? And how, from pain, do you awaken the divine gift that God placed inside you before you were even born? If you've read this far, it means your soul is ready for what comes next. Write this down. I am ready to heal from within. And share this message, because maybe you are the first mirror for someone still drowning in the dark who doesn't yet know the way out. Have you ever been quiet long enough to hear your body breathe? Not the physical breath, but the tired sigh of a soul that has carried too much for too long. Have you ever placed your hand on your chest and found that space was no longer a heart but a sealed door, a door holding in things you've never said, not even to yourself? Dear Aries, you are strong, everyone says so, but sometimes it is because you are so strong that you ignore the cries from within, and the universe doesn't blame you. God doesn't either. He simply waits for you to stop, to begin a conversation without words. Do not ignore a pain, because sometimes it is the voice of God. Pain doesn't come to weaken you, it comes to reclaim the honesty your soul was forced to swallow. There are moments in the year when Mars goes retrograde, or when the full moon illuminates the night sky and the veil between the conscious and subconscious opens. For Aries, this is not just an astronomical event. It is an invitation. An invitation to pause, place your hand on your chest, and whisper something you've never dared to say each morning. Before the light touches your room, place your hand on your chest, close your eyes, and whisper, "Please show me what is stuck in my body." Maybe you won't hear anything, but the miracle isn't in the answer, it's in the moment you dare to ask the question for the first time to yourself. Your soul has carried too many things without names. Your body is now only trying to help you remember what you have forgotten. Forgotten that you once cried in silence. Forgotten that you once accepted because you believed you had no right to refuse. Forgotten that you are just as tender as anyone else, even if your eyes always blaze with strength. Write. It doesn't need to be poetic. It doesn't need to make sense. Write what your body feels uneasy about. Write where it hurts, where it feels cold, where it feels heavy. And let the words guide you back to the part of you that's been quiet too long. Have you ever healed a pain that had no name? Share your story, because someone out there may need to hear it to keep going. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to take the first step, because healing doesn't come through understanding. It comes through honesty. When you are honest with your body will be honest with you. You'll begin to notice the dreams return. The pain softens each time you write. Your heart aches less when you pray with your real voice. Prayer is not a demand for miracles. It is the courage to stand before the Creator and say, "I am ready to let go. Please teach me how to keep only what is worthy." You don't need to climb mountains. You don't need to meditate 3 hours a day. You don't need to read 100 books. All you need is to sit in silence for just 3 minutes every morning and ask, "What does my body need today?" Then live as if you respect that answer more than anything else. There are times when the only thing you need to do to heal is to stop abandoning yourself. And now, once you've listened, once you've written, once you've breathed again with your own soul, something strange will begin to happen. You'll start to remember a part of yourself you forgot. A skill, a vision, an old dream. A sacred gift not meant for you to shine alone, but so you can become the one who lights the fire. For the souls who are lost, you don't need to go far to find it. It lives right there, in the pain you just held with compassion. And in the next part, I will help you unlock that soul box. So you will see, the pain is not just trauma. It is the key to unlock the sacred talent that has been sealed within you. If you feel something beginning to stir inside, write down, "I am ready to heal, ready to remember the part of my soul that has been forgotten." And please share this video, because what has just been awakened in you might be what someone else has been waiting to see. You have passed through the pain. You've listened to your body. You dared to stop while the whole world pushed you to keep running. Now, as you return to yourself, look deeper, because behind everything you've gone through is a gift waiting to be awakened. A sacred gift sealed long before you had a name. A light not meant to be kept, but to illuminate the way. Aries, ruled by Mars, is not just a warrior. You are a warrior of light. Your soul was not born to wait for signals from others, but to be the signal for those who are lost. You don't need to say much. The way you walk, the way you live, the way you rise after falling is already light. The light within you was never meant just for you. It exists to redeem those who haven't yet dared to step out of the darkness. I once heard an Aries whisper, "I don't know what I'm good at, I just know. When I'm present, people seem to believe in themselves more." That is a talent, and not everyone has it. Aries often don't see themselves as healers, but through your courageous presence, through the way you act without needing permission, you've healed souls tied down by fear. The ability to inspire naturally. You don't persuade, you don't push. You simply live authentically, and the light in you makes others dare to do the same. The power to heal through action. When you walk through pain, others know that pain can be walked through. The power to activate transformation just through your presence. Some people, just by seeing how you live, find the strength to end a false life. Aries wasn't born to run from pain. They were born to overcome it and to lead the way for those without a map. What do you think is the sacred gift inside you? The one you've always felt but never dared to name? Write it down. Because one sentence from you could be the light for someone else. Aries is not the one who's never fallen. You are the one who falls in full view and rises like a sacred ritual. That's what makes you different. The world doesn't need more perfect examples. It needs those brave enough to live truthfully. In an era full of masks, and you and Aries were born for this. Maybe you don't want to be a leader. Maybe you feel peace just being a regular person. But your soul was never written to be invisible. You were written to be the first to step out from the crowd, not because you're perfect, but because you've walked through darkness and still kept your light. No one is chosen because they are strong. They are chosen because the light they carry will help others become strong. And if you think all of this, the pain, the awakening, the writing, the listening, the rebirth from within, was just to make you a little better every day, then let me say, no, that was only the beginning. Because in the next part, I will help you see. Aries, you are the chosen messenger, sent to protect the next generation. A generation in need of souls who do not need to be perfect but brave, hearts that dare to love without calculation, people who live truthfully when the world only teaches us to live for acceptance. If this touches something in you, write down, I am ready to become the light that God has sent into this world. And share this video, because light only has meaning when it is passed on. Dear Aries, if you have come to this very last moment of this journey, if you have listened to every signal from your body, every whisper from the universe, every nameless ache, every memory once buried, then you are no longer the same. You have stepped into your true role. You are no longer living as someone trying to be better, but as a soul being awakened to become the keeper of light for the generations to come. Your body has never betrayed you. The pain you walked through was never meaningless. The loneliness you once endured was a sacred language only the chosen can understand. And now, as the light begins to rise within you, please don't hide it anymore. I bow deeply in gratitude to you, the one who bravely sat through what wasn't easy to hear, the one who didn't turn off this video when it reached a familiar wound, the one who breathed again with themselves, even if just one breath, but an honest one. If your soul feels lifted, close your eyes and whisper a thank you, not to me but to the old self you've just held in love, because no pain you've ever carried was in vain. It led you here. Thank you for diving deep into this journey. Thank you for courageously choosing the light, even when the darkness within once tried to convince you that you were not worthy. You may have cracked, but you did not break, and it is through that crack that the light entered. If this light has been awakened and you don't keep it to yourself, right beneath this video, I have heard the calling. I am the light. I have returned. And this time I will not abandon myself again. Let those words become a soul declaration sent to the heavens. Let your comment become the first candle for someone still lost in the dark. And if you know another Aries, someone who has been trying to survive in silence, send them this video. Because maybe the light within you is the prayer they've been waiting for. Close your eyes just for a minute and whisper with me. I am the light, I am not forgotten, I have returned, and I am ready to live fully. The mission that God has written into my very being. To you, my soul sibling under Aries, I send deep love, healing light, and a blessing from the deepest place in my heart. You are not walking alone. Save this video, share it wherever light is needed, and stay. Because the next journey will reveal Aries, the awakening messenger of a new era. What's coming is greater than anything you've dared to dream.